up here. So we're headed down, I think this must be one of the main streets of Hobart, because running parallel to the waterfront, one block to the right, you can sort of give you a bit of an impression of the peak hour traffic in Hobart. We've actually found that traffic in Hobart is pretty bad around morning and evenings. Also these really congested pinch points. We're on our way to New Norfolk for breakfast. We came through New Norfolk yesterday, but it was teeming with rain and really wasn't particularly the right time to stop. But it should be an interesting place. A lot of colonial architecture. It was established by people who were evacuated from the Norfolk Island penal colony when it was closed, and they set up in New Norfolk, and it's, I think, one of the oldest towns in Tasmania. It has the oldest Anglican church, and it has the oldest pub in Tasmania. So, oops. 1807, okay, that's older. But, well, one of the oldest. That's where people can't hear your correcting your corrections with profanities, Rob. Yeah, no, one of the oldest, but Rob has corrected me because we just went past a pub which advertises itself as the oldest pub in Tasmania, and it has, in Australia, it has 1807 across its door, which would make it older than the pub in New Norfolk, which I think is like 1820 or 1840. Anyway, the my misrecollection rather than the bragging of that pub, maybe it's one of the oldest pubs in Australia. Anyway, or in Tasmania, I should say. Anyway, at this rate, it'll be lunchtime by the time we get to New Norfolk, rather than breakfast time.
Well, we're doing something a bit different this morning.
Good morning, Internet! We have to pay our respects to the rightful owner of Good Morning Internet, Norley, and we're hopeful one day she'll watch this and that will make her smile.
Imitation is the highest form of compliment.
It is.
Norley.
So that's why we're saying Good Morning Internet. Okay, where are we, Andrew?
We are, I don't know exactly where we are. We're beside the river.
We just went through Plenty.
We went through Plenty, which is a beautiful name. We've just come from New Norfolk where we had breakfast. We're on our way to Strathgordon, and right now we chose this spot, or Rob chose this spot, because right down here we have the River Derwent, which of course is the river on which Hobart is located, and New Norfolk, and quite a number of other places. But it's really, in places, a very wide river, and it's actually it's in flow at the moment.
And it hasn't been particularly rainy and wet here, so it's always quite full, I imagine. But it's actually a very, very scenic river as it winds through the countryside.
Why don't we turn around like this, and we'll show you the other direction. Did you notice on the way down there's a warning sign telling us to drive carefully because the hops
harvest
is being harvested. Yeah, and this is a big hop growing area. They supply a lot of breweries in Australia apparently. And if we keep an eye out, we might see some of those ousts, which are the hop drying, like kilns, I suppose. They're little funny sort of two-storey buildings that you see dotted around here. But it's a bit overcast today, but it's actually very pleasant. The roads are dry.
I was going to tell the people of the internet
Yes, please.
about
You do
the
that.
exciting thing that happened yesterday. We had an absolutely beautiful ride yesterday, I have to say. This was from Strathgordon into Hobart.
On the Lyle Highway.
The Lyle Highway. It was absolutely excellent. But the exciting thing that happened is that we came around a corner at one point, and 50 metres there was police cars and everything all blocking the road. There was not much warning, one might have to say. So, but of course, being very cautious riders, we managed to very easily slow down to see what all the commotion was about. And there was a truck that somehow had
God knows how, but yes.
yeah, it was very odd.
Its arse was on one side of the road and its face was on the other side of the road.
It was a bit of a nasty truck accident, but the nastiest part, and the thing that led to us having many questions, was that it had like a blue skip bin on the back of it, which had come off, and all of the contents of that had spilled all over the road. And as we got close, trying not to dry retch, we realised it was fish. It was like
big fish,
like this
that big.
that big.
And that's not like a fisherman's, you know.
Yeah, no, they were big,
big,
and that could have been like eels and all sorts of shit in there. So we don't know really what was happening here, but whatever it was vile. And we saw another one of those trucks, and we said, we know what you've got inside you, and you're horrible.
We're staying well clear.
So there was a lot of questions that needed to be answered about that particular event, but that was pretty exciting to see fish, tons of fish, just all over the road.
And it's quite bizarre. Quite bizarre.
Very, very stinky.
Hey, I don't know. Can you hear that? There's somebody shooting up there.
Yeah, that's their shotguns to get the birds to chase away from the grapes.
Well, they're automatic, are they?
Yeah, they just fire.
Must cost a fortune in shells. Maybe it's just
gunpowder. I don't think they actually fire anything. They just make the noise to drive the birds away.
So, okay. Well, it's very, very picturesque here.
You know when you go.
How do you know that? Oh, the dancing was a fucking sign.
Gotta go now!
It's actually stopped raining, which is nice.
It has stopped raining. It's just sprinkling as we ride along, which is...
We've been on the Gordon River Road, which is built this game, which has been a pretty road, but yeah, it's just in the wet, not as much fun as it would be in the dry. It's actually quite a lovely road. And we've gone past Lake Pedder, which is just extraordinarily large, and here we are Or just marble
The Gordon Dam.
Sorry, the Gordon Dam.
The Franklin Dam didn't happen.
No, that's right. There wasn't a Franklin Dam. No,
That
the
was
Gordon Dam.
Bob Brown.
Bob.
Well, I don't know. So it's an
This
interesting-
supplies 22% of Hobart's power.
Right. It's interesting. So we just read the sign back there that was saying that there's been quite a lot of agitation to let it out and to pull the dam down and to restore it back to how it was.
It was liquid in the bag. It has no structural integrity whatsoever, and it tastes every bit as good as it feels. So what is it here? $2.32 a litre. 95. We've been paying up to about